How's everyone doing? Billy from Blacktip Social. We've got Jamie from Blacktip Social. How are you doing, mate?
How's it going, mate? You all right?
Yeah, I'm good, but it looks like you've frozen a little bit. Oh, no, you're back. I think you're back. You were just lagging a little bit there. So this week's live is going to be talking about how to increase engagement across your social media platforms. And see, we've got quite a few people jumping on already. That's great. Any questions you've got about how we can, or how you can increase engagement across your social media channels? Like always, get them in the comments and Jamie will answer them for you, because I always kick all questions across to Jamie. Well, we noticed the trend by now. I backheel it so he can deal with it all on the lives. So
you're the host, so it's all right.
Say that, Jamie.
You're the host, so it's even.
Yeah, I don't know how this happened actually. So obviously me and Jamie have been doing lives for a while now, and it just so happened that I adopted the host role and I kicked all questions to Jamie. So any questions you've got, make them as difficult as possible, and Jamie will rack his brains and get the answers for you. Yeah, like I said, we'll go live every single Thursday at 6 o'clock, and this week we're going to be talking about how you can increase engagement across your social media channels. So just while we're waiting for some questions to kick in, we'll get started. Jamie, do you want to get off on the first point? Do you want to take the first one on how we can increase engagement?
Mate, I think you know, we've kind of touched on curiosity before, but I think it's a big point. I think obviously we're going to dive into a couple of post types and stuff in a second. But yeah, it's piquing curiosity is going to be what grabs people's attention, and then we'll kind of combine that with the different mechanics of polls, making sure that we're asking questions and all the different stuff and other mechanics that we're kind of going to get into. But yeah, I think if you start with curiosity, you're starting on a good front.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. No, absolutely. I think there might be a little bit of a lag. I don't know if I'm lagging for you as well, but it seems like we're both with videos are lagging a bit. If you can let me know in the comments if there's a bit of any trouble with the stream, that would be great. But yeah, I mean, one thing that I would like to touch on for increasing engagement is utilizing features that are within an app, because obviously it's quite easy just to go and post a photo or post a video, but by utilizing the features, sometimes they'll push your engagement out. Just because, especially if it's a new feature, like say Instagram Reels, for example, we know that people are reporting a big increase in engagement because it's a new feature. So if you ever see a new feature on Facebook, on Instagram, on TikTok, Snapchat, wherever it is that your audience are and you're posting, make sure you're utilizing, or at least make sure you're testing the new features that's on there, because you might see a bit of an increase on your engagement. So
you've just got to get your hands dirty and start trialing stuff.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Melissa is saying that we are lagging. So it looks like there is a bit of a lag. I apologize about that. Hopefully you can still understand what we are actually saying. So let us know if it's unwatchable, because we could actually start the stream again. I know we've got, I think it's like 15, no, there's 19 people on at the moment. So yeah, one person said we're lagging. Thanks for that, Mel. But yeah, so yeah, I mean, the Instagram Reels is a good one because it's a new feature. Compare it. But one thing that I would like to note about the Instagram Reels is they've done something, Jamie, haven't they, with people uploading directly from TikTok, because people were trying to share content from TikTok into a reel, and having to pull the engagement on that if it's got the TikTok logo.
Yeah, so they've basically kind of trained their own algorithm to look for TikTok videos, because people are trying to repurpose videos from TikTok and just obviously saving them from their phone, repost them onto Instagram, but Instagram are having none of it. So they're actually dropping the reach of those types of videos and those types of reels. So just be aware of that if you are repurposing your TikTok content.
Yeah, I mean, because some people are doing, they're recording directly to TikTok, downloading it from TikTok, it's adding the logos on, putting it into Instagram, and then I suppose Instagram don't want TikTok's logo plastered all over it. There are a couple of ways you can get around this. So just to help your engagement, if it is Instagram that you're posting on, one way is that obviously you can just do 2 separate posts if you want and upload them separately rather than downloading directly to TikTok. If you need to use TikTok's features when you're recording, you could switch on the screen record on your phone while you're doing it, and that gets rid of the TikTok logo while you're doing that. So there are a couple of ways around actually doing it. I think, Jamie, the next one that I want to talk about is, I think we mentioned this on a live before, was utilizing polls on Facebook story, on Facebook or on Instagram. I mean, my tip that I like to use, this is an Instagram one. Everyone thinks that you need to have 10,000 followers to have the swipe up function on Instagram, which, yes, that is true. You do need 10,000 followers. But the reason people want it is so they can swipe up. But there's a much better way of getting engagement by using it than the swipe up button, because if you create a poll and ask people a question, yes or no, or whatever options you put in, as soon as somebody votes on that poll, on Instagram stories I'm talking about here, it allows you to send them a direct message. So then you can connect with people directly, where if someone swipes up when you get the 10K, for example, they're going to go to a landing page. They might fill in a lead form. They might send you a message, which is great. You could retarget them using a pixel, but you can get the direct contact by using the poll and send them a direct message.
Yeah, it's a really good content. That's a really good tip as well, especially if you've got things saved and you can just kind of paste them over. Send them a personalize the reply a little bit, but get in touch with them and connect with them.
Yeah. And one thing that's just happened with Instagram as well, they've just activated hyperlinks working again in messages. So we noticed about, how long ago do you think it was, about Christmas, do you think, to switch the links off? So when you message someone,
it was wrong then.
Yeah, the hyperlinks stopped working. But I noticed last week that they had switched that back on. So it allows you to send a link directly again. So make sure you're utilizing polls and stories, but any new features, make sure you give it a go, because the platform wants their new features to work. So it's going to push your engagement out, but it's going to push your reach out to more people. So you can do that. Jamie, any others you want to tick off on your list of increasing engagement?
I think questions and trying to. So one of the things I've noticed, asking questions will always increase engagement and sort of try and entice a reply. But I think too many people worry that no one will reply to the question, and then they kind of worry about what everyone else will think about that. You've got to let go of that. You've got to just do it. Like if no one replies, like just let go. Who cares? It doesn't matter. It's fine. It's totally fine. Ignore it. Let it go. And take that as a little bit of data that you need to ask a better question next time. Just go with it. Yeah.
Questions are a great way as well. I mean, if you're concerned about, if what Jamie mentioned there, if you're concerned about people not replying, if you do an Instagram, I'm focusing a little bit on Instagram here, but if you do an Instagram where it says, ask me a question, that sticker, people don't even know who has or hasn't replied, because you can just choose to share the ones that you want to share. So if you want to kind of dip your toe into it and start asking questions, go for it. But on actual post in your feed, ask questions. But you can also ask a poll in your questions as well. I mean, on your feed, not just on stories. So utilize the polls on that front end, but try and draw your followers into some sort of conversation with you, because conversational speak on social media, that's what it's all about, and that's what's going to increase engagement. But one thing you've got to do, if someone does ask you a question, you must respond to absolutely everything. I mean, even comments. Yes. I mean, people, even if you get negative comments, right? You should, as a business owner, I would respond to negative comments and not delete them. Because I mean, my thing for that, Jamie, is if you respond to them, it shows good customer service and you're not hiding anything. What do you think about that?
Yeah.
Getting in touch with people?
I think it's about like showing personality of the brand as well. Like, definitely don't engage in an argument or anything of that nature, but just show that, if someone was to, it just shows that the human side of your business, and that you're a real business, and that it's just real people running it, and it's not this kind of organization. Always be the bigger person with stuff like that, and respond in a positive way whenever you can. But I would always try and respond rather than ignore.
Yeah. There's some I mean, we don't use Twitter as a platform for our business. I know there's some people who will be watching this live will use Twitter, but there's some absolutely corking businesses on Twitter where they use humor when they're replying to people when they're getting like RC comments.
Yeah.
So but it has to be very much a brand voice, and it's got to be your brand voice if you're going to go down that humor route and you're going to kind of rip people and take the piss out of people. I think that's the best way of putting it. But some people do actually do that. we've got quite a few people on, but we haven't had any questions yet. And we normally get a lot of questions coming in when we do these lives. So start getting your questions in the comments, and we're going to be answering them for you. Be selfish to your business. Get specific about your business. What have you tried that has worked? What have you tried that hasn't worked? Have you got any questions about any type of posting to get more engagement? We want to answer the questions for you. So please comment on here.
I'd like to see what other people's favorite things are for engagement as well. Like, like what what if you're watching this and you've got your go-to little posts in that, share them and let's see. I think it's interesting. I think it's mega interesting.
Yeah. Question came in from Pete. Actually, I'm not sure if it's a question or is it just a hi, Pete. Thanks for jumping on again. I know Pete's been on the last few weeks. So you can schedule your TikToks the same time as your Facebook and Instagram goes out. Third-party app store saves the TikTok logo. What apps are you referring to, Pete? If you could share the apps with us, that would be great, because then any apps that you're using, we can obviously put that in we can load that up so people can actually see it. And Pete's also anyway. Did you hear about the Twitter's Clubhouse feature? I've not used it yet myself. No, I haven't. I don't know if you have, Jamie. I know Facebook's apparently planning to release a Clubhouse style feature, but you might know a bit more about that, Jamie.
Yeah, Twitter are working on their own kind of version. Actually, it was a good few months before Clubhouse got popular. The slowly rolled out to a few people audio tweets, but it didn't take off. And Facebook, when Facebook tried to do it, it didn't take off either. So obviously Clubhouse have got it right to a certain extent of what they're doing and how they're doing it. But I definitely think other platforms are definitely going to follow, as they always do.
Is anyone in here on Clubhouse? I mean, I created a Clubhouse account a few weeks ago. I was begging people for an invite. I got one, and then I've embarrassingly not actually done anything with Clubhouse, but that's my goal for next week. I think I've just been invited to speak on a social media panel on Clubhouse, so I better get my arse into gear with that, because I need to learn the platform and get it. But I mean, Jamie, you need to get on Clubhouse as well. I know we're both Android users, but actually here's a little tip for you. If you want to be on Clubhouse, by the way, if you didn't know, Clubhouse is for iPhone only. So I'm on Android, Samsung, because I'm not an idiot and I like to have a good quality phone. However, the reason the way I got on Clubhouse is because I used Rebecca, my girlfriend, she's got an iPhone. I signed up in her account. I then logged in on my iPad, which then lets us use Clubhouse. So I went a bit of a workaround way of getting on Clubhouse. So, but I don't know if they're going to open it up to everyone or not. But if you're on iPhone, you should check it out. What are you saying?
Yeah,
you brought
apparently they are releasing an Android version. Sorry, apparently they are working on an Android version of Clubhouse. When it's going to be released, though, I don't know. I keep meaning to get an iPhone just to make sure that I'm on the platform and kind of keeping up to date with stuff. But yeah, I'm not on there yet.
Yeah. Pete saying Later, Later is a really good site for social media scheduling. I see people talking about this all of the time. We don't personally use it. I haven't actually used it, but it is on my list, Pete, to go and check that out, because I know there's a lot of people who are starting to use that. I mean,
I used to use it, yeah.
You used it,
I
Jamie?
used to use it. Yeah, I used it for about a year and a half. It's really good. So Later, listen to this, right? And I will die on this hill. Later had a feature. Was the first kind of scheduling tool to have links for your Instagram page. So basically, what you would do is, if you schedule your post to Later, it would almost create a landing page of your posts, and then you click on the tiles, and it takes you to the link. And I remember there's another tool called Buffer, a little bit more advanced. And I asked them if they had that tool, because I wanted to move from Later to Buffer, and they didn't know about it. So I told I had a conversation with someone at Buffer, and then about 2 or 3 weeks later, Buffer released it. So Buffer, you're very welcome. I still think Later is actually better than Buffer.
Anyone got experience using Buffer as well? It'd be good to have a comparison on there. Pete saying, okay, Pete, again, thanks for jumping on, mate. I can't get on Clubhouse. The app says I need to update my phone, which I have. Oh, well, that, Pete, is the number one reason why you need to get rid of that iPhone and switch across to Samsung, because we don't have that problems. We don't have access to Clubhouse, though, obviously. Marsha, I'm assuming that you're talking about Clubhouse here, so register, but I haven't touched it. A bit of a willy waving thing, isn't it? I mean, I don't know. It's actually, Marsha, it's actually getting quite a bit of traction, to be honest. It's getting some traction, and I'm a bit. I mean, I need to get on it myself because some people, like I say, are building quite a big following on Clubhouse already. So I'm going to test it. If anyone else has tested it, let us know. By the way, and just I want to know what your thoughts on Clubhouse are. I definitely know there's some people in the coronavirus business support group, and I know there's some people in the Facebook Ads Academy who are on Clubhouse. But yeah, I would love to know people's thoughts, and I'm going to feed back my thoughts when I do get on it. Right, okay, so let's jump back when we're waiting for other questions to come in. Jamie, on engagement, is there anything else you want to touch on?
I think and again, there's loads of different mechanics and stuff that we can go through as far as posts types and all that kind of thing. But I really think the biggest thing that's going to improve your engagement is, and people hate to hear this answer, and I used to hate to hear this answer as well. But the answer is testing as many different things as you can, and then finding out the truth of what actually works. Mm-hmm. Like try a poll, try asking questions, try a carousel poll, try everything, try all these different types. Look at the data, see what had the most engagement, see what worked, do more of that. Does the engagement keep going up? Is it still working? Looking through all that, and it is a little bit of work, but this is obviously, this is why social media management services exist and all that kind of thing, because it is a big slug of work. But if you want to increase your engagement, get up in front of your followers and your fans on a regular basis, get them engaged with your brand. You've got to get cracking with it.
Yeah. Question coming in. I'm not sure who this is. Facebook user. There should be a link in the description, by the way, if you want your name and Facebook profile picture to a player rather than saying Facebook user, because we are using a bit of software called StreamYard, where it allows us to do all this cool stuff and bring the questions up where you can't actually do that. But the question is there a good time to post? A certain time of the day you would usually get a lot of engagement. I mean, this can certainly vary from business to business, and it depends on your audience, age, type, what they're actually doing. So that you really need to test different times. There's a way you can actually find out, can't you, the most popular times in the Creator Studio. There's a way you can find out the most popular times of your page and when people are interacting with you. Is that right?
Yeah, insights. It's going to depend on the platform as well that you're on. Keep that in mind as well. Think about the platform that you're on, but pretty much all platforms will tell you when people are online the most, when your followers are. Now you'll see a traditional spike. It kind of looks like it goes down, then up, over, and kind of just like the overall attendance of people on social media platforms at around, you've got your morning lunch times, and then your evenings of like 6, 7, and it's kind of, that's kind of peak engagement almost. But you've also got to remember that all the other businesses also know this information. So when you're posting at those times, there's more competition for the news feed. Your post is competing with more businesses posting. So you can certainly schedule them to have, as efficiently as you can on what time you schedule them, but making sure that the content within the post is good is more important than the time. Because even if you post at, a bad time, but it's highly engaging content, then it will get engagement. It'll just pick up a little bit slower, that's all.
Yeah, definitely 100%. And also going back, we'll say this in every single live, just test it. We'll always go back to testing. There's never an exact answer, but you need to find out what works for you and going back and testing things. Carly, hi Carly, how are you doing? Polls work for me, followed up by a post after for engagement. Yeah, polls, I definitely see polls work well for us as well, especially on Instagram stories. I know polls work. Inside groups, actually, polls are really good for getting engagement. Inside our Facebook Ads Academy, sometimes the engagement can drop, and then if we post a poll, we can always kind of pull that back a little bit. So yeah, using polls are great. Totally agree with you on that one, and definitely, Carly, following up with anyone who engages in that poll if you can with another question or a post or a response. And also, if you do a poll and you've got an option, let's say what are your favorite things about social, or what do you not like about social media, and you give 5 answers, you can then go and address all them different options, and it gives you as a business more content that you can go and talk about. Pete is saying, what about Haps? I don't know anyone in my circle using that platform yet. I'll let you find out what it is, but totally worth a look. I don't know what that is. Do you know what that is, Jamie?
Nah. Never heard of Haps.
Pete, are you really going to make a search? Are you going to post it? Are you going to post a link and tell me what it is? But yeah, I will definitely check. I'll definitely check it out. It looks like Jamie's busy Googling it, to be honest.
I'm tapping on your phone now.
Carly is saying that my best engagement is posting a picture of my dog. Yeah, I know it's soul destroying, isn't it? Mine's probably the same, Carly, to be honest. You put all this time and effort into in your content, and then you post a stupid picture of your dog, and then it blows up, and you get. I think in 2019 or 2020, when at the end of the year tells you your most liked photo, mine was actually a picture of my French bulldog. All them videos, everything I'd done, so mine was exactly the same. So yeah, I feel your pain. I feel your pain on that one. Did you see what Haps was, Jamie? Did you?
Nah, I couldn't find it. I didn't want to take my phone away from the. I couldn't find the social page for it anyway.
If you any other questions coming in, so I've got quite a few people on here, so I want to see more questions coming in. Remember, I want to see anything you want to ask us, so social media wise, even if it's not about engagement, we can deviate a little bit from the plan, and we can always ask any questions. If you've got anything burning that you need to get answered, or you've got any problems this week with your social media. Hi, Marsha. Marsha saying our dog was the photo that come up when you Googled us for ages. So is that on your website, Marsha? Did you have the dog set as the thumbnail, or do you just mean the actual search on Google Images? Yeah. So that can definitely happen, especially if it's a photo that's had a lot of engagement, because the algorithms online can actually pick that up. So Pete's posted a link here for Haps. So haps.tv. Pete, I'm going to write this down.
Yeah.
And I'm curious.
So Haps is a free broadcasting tool. A community eager to collaborate in a simple way, viewers to support creators financially. So it sounds pretty cool, to be honest.
I'll check that out. Thanks for sharing that, Pete. Any other golden nuggets you want to share, please drop them in the comments, and I'll load them up on that screen for you. I like this one. My best reach post was a picture of my husband modeling our range of high vises.
He's never going to let you live that down.
You see, your husband's now an actual model. So I don't know who this is, by the way.
Influencer? Is that making him an influencer?
Can you see who that is who commented that, Jamie, or not?
No, I can't.
No, I can't either. I'd like to know who that is. But yeah, that's great. I mean, that can definitely happen. So Marsha was saying, is there a way to put a poll on a page? Yes, so you can just go on your page, Marsha, and one of the options is create a poll. But the difference is, actually, so I found this out. The removed polls directly from the page. I'm going to go on my page now and see if you can still do it. But when they removed it from the front end, I found another way of actually being able to do it by going into the Creator Studio. Yeah. So by the way, you're right. So the removed polls from when you go add a post on Facebook, and this happened about a year ago. But if you go into the Creator Studio, you can create a poll from there. But the only difference is from your page, they only allow you to have 2 options. Whereas in a group, I believe it's unlimited. I've never gone past like 8 or 9, but I think it's unlimited options you can get people to add. But from an actual page itself, you can't do that. So go into the Creator Studio, Marsha, and that you should be able to do that. Hi, Anna. Anna's jumping on again. Nice. Thanks for joining us, Anna. I know you've been on just about every week since we started these up again. So I find personal info being most engaging, but that's good because it means that we are messing up the algorithms. I mean, Jamie, have you got any experience posting personal stuff? We normally keep it more mainly social media related, don't we? But I know there's people who build a brand and let people know what they're doing quite regularly.
Yeah, 100%. It's being as far as personal. I mean, it depends what you class as personal info, I suppose. sharing, letting people know that you're human. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And just standard everyday things. But yeah, I sort of try to keep it on topic at the same time, just to make sure that everything's kind of consistent as well. But again, it's Anna's obviously found something that works, and that's why we keep saying about testing. Like, test it and find something what works, and then do more of what works.
Yeah, absolutely. Graham, hi Graham, how are you doing? So Graham's saying, just started a new page for my mortgage business and my reviews don't show up. How many do you need to get that rating? I believe Facebook are in the process of removing this. I'm sure Facebook are going to get rid of reviews on pages. I'll have to actually double check that. I remember reading something that they were talking about it going. Is that correct?
Yeah, I think it went away a while ago, I believe. Kind of combined recommendations. Yeah. So at one point you could either leave a review or a recommendation, but then I think they combined them, and now it's just recommendations. So it stopped like leaving, I think reviews were 1 to 5 star, and now it's just do you recommend or do you not recommend them? Like 2 options basically.
So I'm just looking here, Jamie, on our page. Yeah. So the tab, when you go on your page and you type more, there's a tab, Graham, there's a drop down called reviews. If yours isn't there, what you need to do is you need to go into page settings and you can add additional tabs. So you'll be able to add the review tab. If you don't know how to do it, comment on the video and I'll make a video showing you how to add this on. But it's called reviews. But then when you look at the reviews, what Jamie's just said is totally right. They've got rid of 4 out of 5, 5 out of 5, and it just says recommend. And we haven't got any don't recommends. But if we did, I don't know if it would. I think it might say don't recommend. I think that's what it actually does say. But if you don't know how to do that,
so it'll be like name and then doesn't recommend the business.
Graham, give that a go. So go into your settings on the tabs. I think it might be on a page layout, I believe, off memory. And then do that. But if you're not sure how to find it, drop a message and I'll make a video showing you exactly how you can do that. Hang on, hang on. We can see where the confusion is here. So watch. So I'm saying Graham, and then she just said, "Look, it's Kaylee," because obviously it's Graham, Kaylee. So it's not Graham.
Oh, right.
It's Kaylee. Yeah, you need to make that more clear because that looks like a Graham to me. So yeah, and where was that on my things? I scroll down there and Paul on the page, more engagement. We've done that one. That was Anna's question. So Pete's just saying, going back to the other apps that you can monetize your live streams across social platforms. So we might become millionaires of doing these lives every week. So we'll have to check that out from the 20 people who I have jumping on these at the minute. We'll have to. Can everyone just donate £100? That'll be a good start. Who we're up to now, yes. So Marsha saying that the picture of a dog was showing up on Google Images, so she stopped posting it. Yeah, if you're not happy with what it's coming up, you can just do that. So Facebook user saying, Billy, not sure my name hasn't coming up. It's Heidi Fieler from AFA Workway in Plymouth. What you've got to do, Heidi, is there should be a link in the description. You might have to scroll down to see it, and then you've got to give StreamYard permission. So if you click the link, click accept, and then it'll pull your name and your profile picture through. It's just you need to give them permission to actually be able to do that. Anna, showing your human side, not too much, just a bit. Yep, totally agree. I think that can definitely work. And then Pete's just saying that when you get on Haps, come follow. And then he's put the link on there. He's doing a little shameless plug for himself. So everyone go and follow Pete. If you're on Haps, everyone wants to check it out, go and give Pete a follow.
And then if goes viral, then we need to give Pete all the credit.
Yeah, and then Kaylee saying, we are weird. Well, Kaylee, you said that. We didn't say that. So, but yeah, no, that's right. I'll remember for next time. One thing that I wanted to go through on engagement, because it's all right you guessing what works for your engagement, but there's actually a way you can go and figure out what your best engagement is. So what content is working and what content isn't working. So I'm just going to bring this up on the screen and I'm going to show you how you can access your engagement rates per post on Facebook, but you can also split it per organic and you can also split it for paid advertising as well. So you can really start to see what engagement is working. So I'll pull this up on the screen. I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll make that big so you can't see me. So what you do is when you're on your Facebook page, so I'm just on the Black Tip Social, you're going to go and find your Insights tabs. Your Facebook might look slightly different to this. Don't worry if it is, because Facebook do test things on a regular basis. You can get to it by hitting more. Oh, no, you can't. Mine's just moved. Mine used to be there. It's now on the left. So just if it's not on the left on Insights, it'll be on that More tab. But on the left, I want to hit Insights. And from Insights, you are going to go on the left. You're going to find where it says Posts. And when you're on Posts, you're just going to scroll down a little bit. By the way, the question before about the timings, you'll see here that is the timings there. So you can see where your most engaged users actually are. So I'm just going to come up on that, zoom in on that a little bit. So you can see there that you can see where the timings are. And so you can start posting at those specific times. You might want to check that it's in the correct time zone, because it says up here that hours it's shown in Pacific time zone, which I believe is US.
Only shows in Pacific, I believe.
Oh, yeah, well, there you go. So you'll have to convert them times into UK for yourself. But the person who asked about the time zones, the best times to post, that'll give you some indication. But when you're on Posts on the left-hand side, if you scroll down, it's going to show you your posts here. Now, what we're looking for is you're going to use the drop-down tab, and we're going to switch to engagement rate. Now, on engagement rate, the figure that you're looking for is, you would have heard me say this quite a few times, that really you're going to be hitting 5% engagement rate if you're lucky, unless a bit of content's really good. Facebook think people really like it, so they're going to start pushing it out to more people. So 5% is probably a benchmark that you want to be hitting. Anything higher is great. And then this tab here, you can switch it down. I mean, Jamie, you wanted to talk about the fans and non-fans, didn't you, on this section?
Yeah, so that's just like an extra bit of insight. So looking at the engagement rate percentage gives you, how engaging it is to the people that it's reaching. But then the non-fans, so obviously that dark orange is non-fans, but if you haven't paid for that post, like we haven't there, that means that, it's being shared, and that's one of the biggest engagement triggers to the algorithm. So that's what you want to look for as well. You want to look to how many shares your posts are getting. And it's just a good way to have a look at shares without having to go into individual posts and that kind of thing. So if your non-fans is pretty high, then your reach is going to be high. And figure out what it is. Obviously, that's I think that's a live video. So that was being shared by some of our Facebook followers. So yeah, it's, keep an eye on that orange section. I always like to exactly have this view here, fans and non-fans and engagement rate.
And if you hover over it, like I'm doing there, so move your mouse and hover, it actually shows you the breakdown. Now, obviously, the reason you want to be hitting non-fans is higher is because that means you're reaching new people. So if you look here, anything that's over 5%, we know people must like this. And if the trend here is, every single one of ours that's over 5% are all Facebook Lives. So going back to the engagement point before about testing different features, we already knew this anyway, that Facebook Lives do generate a lot of engagement on social media. So, but by actually looking at this data, we can actually prove that Facebook Live generates the most engagement for us. And I'm assuming if you start doing Facebook Lives for your business, you're going to see that these metrics are going to be the highest as well. So make sure, again, go and test it out, because that's what it's about at the end of the day, being able to actually know for a fact that we're going to go live, and we know our engagement rates are going to go up. So test live, start going live. When we first started doing lives, sometimes we were doing it to 1 and 2 people. I mean, we're not doing any record-breaking numbers at the minute, but sometimes we get 30, 40 people on, might get 50 people on sometimes, depending on when we do it. But yeah, you just start, honestly, and it's a good bit of content as well that you can split up. So we'll chop this live up where people have been asking questions, and then we can actually answer them. And then just another question from Anna. Anna saying, UK timings, no. So going back to that, Anna, I just noticed there that it says across the top that it's actually the Pacific time zone. So you're going to have to work. I don't think you can. Jamie said you can't change it, I think. So you're going to have to work out Pacific versus UK, so you know what is the best time for you.
8 hours. I believe it's 8 hours. Yeah, I think it's 8 hours.
But it is a good indicator.
If I'm wrong in the comments, by the way.
Yeah, someone might shoot you down for that. But yeah, it is a really good indication on there of when to post. So, but there's other things that you can look at, by the way, on the engagement side. You can go post reactions and clicks, comments. You can go to negative posts or post hides. Actually, I shouldn't have clicked on that, Jamie, because I didn't know if there was going to be any negative stuff there. Luckily for us, there isn't actually. So yeah, you can actually see if anyone's reporting or doing negative stuff to your post. Luckily, we haven't had any. I'm sure we'll probably have over time. If I went through all of our posts, I could probably find some. But yeah, if you're spamming people a lot, if you're trying to sell, this is why it's really important. Going back to the if you're selling all of the time on your social media, I guarantee that you will see some negative posts on there. So it's worth doing. I'm really sorry to say, but Jamie was right. It is 8 hours. So when you're looking at that, the PST time, is it PST Pacific? It's 8 hours different. So you're going to have to add 8 hours. So
behind the 8 hours behind.
Yeah. So that's what I mean. You've got to add 8 hours. So 12 o'clock there, it'll be 8 o'clock us at night.
That's right.
That's right. I know. I used to go to America on holiday, so I'm good with the timings over there.
Back when the world was open.
I hope I get away on holiday this year. I'm absolutely desperate. Where's everyone going on holiday anyway? Where's the first place you're going on holiday when the flights and everything opens back up?
That's a good one.
Let us know in the comments.
If tomorrow everything, all of a sudden Boris came back on and said, forget everything, it's all over, it was all a hoax, whatever. You know what I mean? Whatever. And obviously we know it's not a hoax, but if he was to say, right, you can flip a switch and everything was back normal tomorrow as it was in 2019, the first thing you would do, I don't even know what it would be if it was me, to be honest. Like, I really don't know what I would do.
It's a tough question. I need to think about that. Definitely need to have a think about that. I'm going to come back to that. You're going to have us racking me brains about what I would do now. Heidi saying the first place she would go would be Turkey. Oh, Heidi must have sorted a link out with StreamYard because her name's coming up now. Turkey. I went to Turkey in October, actually. Fantastic place. Actually, really, really good place. Yeah, let us know in the comments where you would go. Skiing. Anna saying skiing in the Alps. Look, I've never actually been skiing before. I've never actually been, but I would love to give. Do you know what? I've got dodgy knees, so that's why I don't go skiing. Any other points on engagement, Jamie?
No, I think honestly, trying everything, but recording the data, like making sure you're keeping an eye on what's getting. You know, we just went over there. It's so easy to look at. You know, after if you make sure that you make a calendar, make a content calendar, fill it in, make sure that you schedule. If it's easier to schedule, you know, spend one day of the week to schedule posts for the entire week. Come back that same day next week, go onto that screen that we've just showed you, engagement rate, fans, non-fans, have a look and see what's worked best. And then go from that, the screen here, go from this screen and look at it and say, okay, this post did the best, this post did good, this post I'm going to do more of this kind of post. And then do the same thing again next week. And you know, if you try 5 different post types there, and you know there's 3 of them are winners, and then you fill next week's content calendar with the winning post type, take a look and see if your engagement's gone up throughout your page, and then you're going to snowball, but you've got to keep it up. You know, you got to build momentum consistently.
Yeah. When obviously, if you find these lives really useful as well, what we would love is if you could go to the Black Tip social page, and if you could just hit that like and share button, and then hopefully other businesses will find use of these Facebook lives. Because like obviously we're just here to help people. We want you to get your social game up and on fire, so you're getting more leads, you're getting more sales. So we would really appreciate it if you could go over to the Black Tip social page and just share and like this video. I know that we are live in a few different places here, so it would be appreciated if you could do that. And also, obviously we always create the events for when we're going to go live. If you know of any other businesses that would find this useful, please invite them. All you do is click on the event, click on invite, and get them in, because it's definitely something that people would benefit from, and we're here to help. We're here to get your social media working for your business. I was going to say Graham there. Kaylee is saying, any ideas on how to get more? So any ideas on how to get more page likes? Jamie? couple of ways you can do this. Which way do you want to go?
Yeah, the engagement stuff, finding out on that. So what we've been talking about on engagement there, you're going to get engagement through posting the relevant content as far as what's relevant to your business. If you continue to post random things, then it's going to drop off. It's going to be random. You're not going to build clear communication. The one thing I will say is don't get caught up in the page likes. In fact, just ignore them if you can. Ignore them altogether and just focus on consistency. The likes will come along with that. Focus on speaking to the right audience, and your following will come up with that. It's what you call it's known as a vanity metric, so page followers and all that kind of thing. We've covered it on a few different occasions of Billy's example of inviting your bald uncle to like your hair salon page. It's about relevance of the audience. So, I'd rather have 100 followers and 10 customers than 1 million followers and 5 customers. So it's about being relevant and making sure that you're capturing the right audience rather than just building it with anyone that'll click a like button.
One point, Kaylee, to really mention, well, think about this as well. Going back to what was said about Facebook limiting your organic reach to about 5%, because they obviously want you on the paid advertising platform. So if you are getting page likes with people who are not customers or potential customers or not your target audience, that 5% might go out to your baldy uncle if you have a hairdressing page, which is a wasted reach, if that makes sense. So try and fill it up with people. Everyone's made this mistake. Look, I've made this mistake. You go on your page and I've invited my whole friend list. I've done it. I mean, I'd be surprised if there's a person out there that hasn't gone on the business page and not invited everyone. If I could go back, I wouldn't do that. Honestly, if I could go back in time now, so to answer Jamie's question about 2019, that would be the first thing that I would do. I would stop inviting people to my Facebook page who I know for a fact who are never ever going to use my services or not interested in what I've got to say about social media.
I know a good one. I'll go on. We'll go on to this question, and then I'll.
Are you sure?
And then we'll go.
Marsh, I don't do abroad often, but we're trying to go to the North Coast 500. Scotland's a different country. I think that's classed as abroad. Do the North Coast 500 in Scotland again. I would actually in the Subaru. Ooh. Yeah, that sounds very nice. Meow with a nice little sound effect there, but. To be honest, I would like to do that little route around Scotland. I think that would be good. I've looked at some of the water in Scotland looks insane when you got on the west coast of Scotland. It looks like Caribbean, but it'll be freezing cold.
It'll be absolutely bitter.
Did you want to jump in with a point before I go to the next question, Jamie?
I can't remember what it is now. No, I'm just kidding. It's so one thing to do is get your page likes up when you are sharing your stuff from your page. What blows me mind, what really like. This is one of the reasons that algorithms change because of certain situations like this. So if you do share something from your page, add some context to it. Just because there's so many people that'll just share everything, and then what will happen is it's almost like your profile or whatever you're sharing from will just lose respect of what you're saying in your post. Like anything, as somebody sees your name, they'll just scroll past because they're so used to being irrelevant or the topic being irrelevant. If you're going to post something, just say something about it. Do you know what I mean? Just have that little bit of something. Just say, even if it's a couple of emojis. Do you know what I mean? But say something. It's like, it's like you're telling everybody to listen, but you're not telling them why. Or you're telling everybody to read, but you're not telling them why or how it can help them. So, and if you focus on that, your general overall content will get better because you're practicing it as well. So definitely do that. Add some context to the things that you share.
Yeah, excellent, spot on. Heidi is saying that, Billy, we had a problem with our reviews not showing up on the page for us to view. However, I made someone an admin in my page for them to check and they could see the reviews. Any ideas why I can't see it as a business owner, but an admin person could? I have no idea. Without actually looking into your account, Heidi, it's not really an easy option. It could just be a little glitch on your Facebook. Have you tried, Facebook are a nightmare to get in touch with, but have you tried speaking to Facebook support in logging this as an issue? You could try and go into the settings in the tab, like I explained before, and try switching it on and then off because you can turn reviews off. That might pull it back in. The other option is you could add another admin, leave the page, and then get them to add you as an admin again. That might work. Anything you can think of, Jamie, that I might have missed there?
Nah, it sounds like a glitch to me, to be honest. But give all areas a try.
Yeah, give it a go, Heidi. I think leaving as an admin, make sure it's someone you trust, by the way, and they're going to add you back as an admin, obviously. Give that a go, or try and flick it on and off and see if it pulls that back through for you. Kaylee's just saying thank you for answering the question. Kaylee, no problem at all. That's why we do these Facebook Lives every week, so we're going to help people out. Sam, how you doing, Sam? StreamYard shits on Zoom. Looks wicked. Thanks, Sam. I'm glad you like the look of the StreamYard. Actually, what I've noticed is they're just two different tools altogether, Sam. So StreamYard absolutely blows Zoom out the water for doing lives because of all the different engagement that you can do by easily, seamlessly just pulling slides up. If I want to make Jamie small, big, but then I can switch them back across like that if I want. There's so many little nifty features on here. You can have, I could have a background with Blacktip Social and some advertising going on in there if I wanted to. So yeah, you're right. It definitely does for Facebook Live, Sam. However, for general meetings and stuff, I would still recommend sticking to Zoom, and because you can obviously have up to 100 people, and it's a little bit more interactive in this way. It's kind of me and Jamie just talking. I don't want to say one to many, but it's two to many, where Zoom is a little bit of a different interaction. But yeah, you're right. Give it a go, Sam, for your lives. I know you go live every single day, so give it a go. StreamYard, it's excellent, to be honest. I highly recommend it. So Marsha's just saying, nope, I don't invite everyone, and I never ask people to invite them. I hate seeing that. We do get amazing engagement when we share images of the likes of the NC 500 holidays. When I first read that, I thought she was plugging a discount code for something. I honestly thought that's what it was.
That's a new discount code now.
Yeah, but yeah, Marsha, yeah, you're totally right. Yeah, just try and keep it to your specific target audience. Heidi is saying, try turning the review tab on and off, removed Facebook, reinstalled it, worked for an hour, and then stopped again. Have reported it as an issue. Only thing it sounds like you haven't tried there is you leaving as an admin and then coming back as an admin and see if that refreshes the settings for you, unless that's what you mean by removed Facebook. But I think you actually mean deleted the app. Heidi, does it make a difference? Have you tested on laptop, on desktop, or versus mobile? Have you tested both ways to see if that happens on both of them? I assume that it will, but it could be worth testing.
The reinstalled and worked for an hour tells me it was a bug.
Yeah.
What about you?
I mean, it is strange. It is strange that the other admin can see it. It sounds like it could be an issue with your permissions on your personal profile. But I would definitely try and leave and then add again and then see. And Heidi's saying that it makes no difference on a laptop. So it definitely sounds, Heidi, like it's something to do with your account. But yeah, leave as an admin and see what happens. Marsha, I would always have a second admin, even if it's the case, and then sometimes delete. Yep, 100% agree with that, as long as it's someone that you can fully trust. Because I have heard some horror stories where people have had two admins on a page. It might have been, let's say, someone like me and Jamie have a huge falling out. He kicks off the page, and then you've lost your page. But can you remove other admins? You can, can't you? You just need to be careful. Basically, the point is that you need to trust who you're doing. But I do 100% agree with you, Marsha. And when we're on that, if anyone's running ads in the group, you should always have a backup ads account as well in case your account gets disabled.
Yeah, and always, it's a good thing that you bring that up. Make sure that you've got two-factor authentication turned on your profiles.
That's what I was just about to say.
Yeah, because I've been hacked before. So what someone did was log into my personal account. I hacked my account. And then obviously, because I'm an admin on a bunch of different ad accounts, this is a couple of years ago, but they quickly changed me to moderator on everything. No, so they hacked my account, made two of their profiles admins on 3 or 4 ad accounts, and then went in, logged back into those new admin accounts, demoted me from admin to moderator, so I couldn't do anything about it. And obviously the credit card details were attached to the ad accounts, and then started running ads from our ad accounts to their pages in China. And they spent a total of they managed to spend just over $6,000 in about 18 hours or something.
Wow. $6,000 in hours.
Yeah. So, but I will say this, Facebook were excellent about it, and we got refunded every penny, so it was really good.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, don't want to risk. Have the 2-factor authentication turned on.
2-factor authentication. I was going to say the same. Definitely get that added on. It's important. Some places now, like sites, make you have it on now. It's because it'll become everywhere. It's a pain in the arse.
Yeah.
You've got to keep using your phone to sign in and stuff, unless it's a trusted device. But it is definitely worth it. Going off track a little bit, yeah, but I didn't have it on my PlayStation, and someone hacked my account, and then through PayPal purchased it. It's only £100. Sony were excellent. I got it straight. It wasn't like your $6,000, but I did get it straight back. But I'm saying anyone watching who's got kids, if they're on the Xbox, if they're on PlayStation, go and switch on the 2-factor authentication now tonight, because if they get hacked, this will be a way of stopping it. And you can put your mobile phone number in for your children, and then that'll obviously stop that happening. Heidi's just saying, thanks, Billy. Yep, Heidi, no problem at all. Like I said, if you're getting used for this, we'll always here to answer your questions. Go to the Black Tip page, give it a like, give it a share, so other people can find this useful, and we can answer specific questions about their business as well. And then Marsha saying, create a second Facebook account for yourself as the other way. Yep, it's totally against Facebook policy. However, I'm not going to lie, I might have done the same thing. But all I'm saying is you can do this, but it is against Facebook policy. So I have told you the terms and conditions there straight away. But yeah, that is one way of doing it. Do we have any other questions to come in before we wrap this up? We are approaching an hour now, so we will wrap this up. But we'll wait a few minutes to see if any questions come in. Is there anything you want to talk about, Jamie, about engagement, just to kind of recap or pull that back in? I mean, I've got all my points ticked off that I wanted to go over.
Yeah, so if you're thinking about engagement, the first things I would consider is make more videos, ask more questions, try more stuff, and record more data. You know, you're gonna get better by doing that. It's you can't. It's one of them things. The standard analogy is something like, you can't get in better shape by thinking about press ups. You've got to do the press ups. Do you know what I mean? You got to do them every day. So it's a nightmare. A lot of people don't want to hear that answer, because it's like, oh God, it's a summer work, and I'm already busy trying to run a business and all that kind of stuff. You know, that's why social media management companies exist. There's a few out there. You know, if you're in the Corona business support group, are you watching this now? There's a few businesses in this group that can help you with that kind of stuff. You know, it's always better to be working on your business than in your business, but make sure it's getting done one way or another, and make sure that it's getting done consistently, and that your page is growing. It's the only way to do it.
Spot on. No, good recap. Thanks for that, Jamie. But yeah, thanks everyone for joining the Facebook Live this week. We are going to be live again, as always, like next Thursday at 6 o'clock. Oh, shockingly, I can't remember what the event was. What I want to start doing from next week, I want to write the next event down so I can tell you exactly what it is. But go to the events page on the Coronavirus Business Support Group, Facebook Ads Academy, Black Tip Social page, Jamie Social or Billy Bone Social, depending on where you are watching it. Jamie's handle for Instagram and Facebook's on there, as likewise as mine. Go and give us a follow on Instagram. Go and give us a follow on Facebook. Find us on TikTok as well. We've both got the same handles. We'll connect with you on social media. Jamie's got 1 point.
Yes, I am about to join HAPS as well. But also, next week, we're going over our customer retention strategies. So that's good, because the next week's live is customer retention strategies. So we like to think of Facebook ads as its number one goal, social media advertising, is to acquire new customers at scale. Now, the other part of that is customer retention. So making sure that customers are coming back to your business and repurchasing, and what you can do to entice and increase that happen without spending more money. So definitely come and join me next week when we go over that. Prep your questions.
Yeah, definitely prep your questions. Any questions you've got, get them in. I know I had quite a few again tonight, and we really do appreciate it. It's not a hassle. Don't feel like, oh, how many questions am I asking? I've already posted one. Just get as many as you want in them comments, and we will keep answering them, and we will stay on as long as they're coming. But thanks again for everyone tuning in, and we will see you again next Thursday at 6 o'clock. See you later.
Cheers, everyone.